Ladies and gentlemen, we were supposed to have Joey McIntyre here on St. Patrick's Day, no less. Cool. And it was, it's a bummer, though. In his place is Derek White of the Boston Celtics.
Yes.
Wait a minute. No, it's just Joey McIntyre in a sequin.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Derek White.
The new kids like to bling up their jerseys, their Boston jerseys. So it says McIntyre on the back.
Oh, does it really?
Happy St. Patty's Day. Should I give him the McIntyre on the back? I mean, it is my day. It is my people's day. I usually have my hands in the air and waving like I just don't care with this outfit.
Why are you covering it up with the hoodie? What are you,
because reveal.
You're off the bench. Yeah. Come on now, you're ready. Go.
I thought you were gonna
Much better.
Yeah.
I get to see all of it now.
Happy St. Patty's Day,
Why
everybody.
isn't Vistaprint in sequin? I don't understand.
Why is it? Because we didn't get the endorsement, just the Celtics did. If they did,
Wick Grusbeck is just he's soaking in. He's Wick soaking in.
I can say is a good friend of mine. God bless him.
Is he really?
Yes. We have a connection.
What's the connection?
My son was born with severe hearing loss, and his son is blind. So the Mass Eye and Ear, great institution in Boston, we've done some fundraising.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, Boston, home of the Celtics, the world champion Celtics, and some of the greatest hospitals and healthcare in the United States and planet Earth.
That's right.
For sure.
That's right.
The Boston Celtics.
Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. Did I say it yet? I'm going to keep saying it.
Keep saying it. We're in the green. An absolute friggin' leprechaun just showed up here. I had no idea.
Yes.
Okay. The radio audience is returning in just a matter of moments, and there's lots to talk about when everybody comes back here. Freedom Tour Phase 1. Freedom's your new album. You got the residency in June.
Yeah.
There we go, right there. Where's the sequence? This is just for us, huh?
I'm keeping it organic and kind of.
I like it. You look like you're shocked right there, Joey. I'll be honest with you. You didn't expect the photograph.
You mixed it up. You mix it up, Rich. You can't give him the matinee idol look every time. There's got to be. By the way,
yes, Joey McIntyre.
This from the guy whose logo. Has anybody asked you where you're going? Your logo. Where are you running to?
You know what? Yes, I have an answer. By the way,
you're doing great. It's okay.
Nobody's ever asked me that question.
Where?
You know where I'm running?
Do you know?
I do know. I know exactly where I'm running to, sir. I'm running to glory.
Yes.
That's where I'm running. I'm running to the tape. You know what I mean? This is me running my 40-yard dash. That's actually me running. I shouldn't say that, actually. But that was born out because I run in my suit at the Combine. At least I did that every year. Now I do it for charity out here in Los Angeles.
Okay. Got it.
At any rate,
got it.
But when we first started here over 11 years ago, DirecTV helped birth us. And I remember going into the offices across the way here, and they showed me, here's the logo that we have in mind. It's you running the 40. And it was an exact replica of my running style, where my right leg is flared out beyond the rest of my body. And I'm like, as long as you make it into a more athletic pose, I'm in. And I watched them actually.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, I actually watched them move my leg back into a much more athletic running pose. But that's it right there.
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
It's a keeper.
That's where I'm running. It's
a keeper.
To glory. So let's just jump in here. Your Celtics going to repeat or what? What do you think, Joey?
Well, they're ebbing and flowing. I think so. They're
more flowing than ebbing, if I had to guess.
Yes. I think we're gonna do all right. But you never know with the playoffs. I was lucky enough to be courtside for Game 5, the clincher. Shout out to my friend Donnie Wahlberg because he had a little something to do with that. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing to watch, and I think we're going to be okay. I don't know. Is it going to be Lakers and Celtics? Could we be so lucky?
I don't know, man. I watched Oklahoma City last night against Milwaukee, and that thing was just a wrap from jump. And because they are outstanding on defense, they are outstanding, and SGA is the MVP and all of that. He's unstoppable. He just creates his own shot, and it's very difficult. But Porzingis just came back from whatever was ailing him, and that's a big difference maker for the Celtics.
This might be too much information, but I have his gum from that final game.
Okay. I will follow up with the obvious question.
I'm yet to. I'm going to cover it in one of those glass domes.
Okay.
And I might gift it to you for one of your amazing shows over here.
Oh my gosh.
So it was during the game. He comes back in. He was chewing gum. And it's a timeout. And he takes it out of his mouth and just kind of tosses it. Again, I'm courtside.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
I grew up in Boston.
Sure.
If Larry Bird spit, you'd like wipe it up and put it in your pocket. So Porzingis, and the gum's there. So then I put it under my seat and then I put it in my pocket and I still have it. I told him after the game.
With your bare hand.
Who cares? blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
you told him?
I told him. He, as you might imagine, he has a great sense of humor. He's a very present guy. Like I told him that as the streamers are going, I got your gum. And he just kind of looked down at me and laughed. But I'm going to present it to him someday. But yeah, that's the kind of fan I am.
How many, Chris, can you look this up on the internet? TJ, look it up. How many gum presentations have there been in the history of sports? Would this be the first of its kind?
I'm just going to guess 0.
I'm sitting on gold. I really am.
I now need to another follow up. Bubble gum? Is it?
It was bubble gum. Yeah,
Okay,
it was a pink. Yeah, it's like a beige now.
Okay.
It's losing its color.
And then the follow up question is: did you just meet Donnie Wahlberg, or how? Okay, very good. So how many games have you been to this year then?
Zero. I'm an LA guy, so I haven't been back to the Garden.
Not even when the Celtics came out here? You didn't go to see that?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
You're too busy being a father and a human.
Trying to make a record, do some dates,
Taking photographs for your tour, doing that sort of stuff. That's a great one. It's a great one. It does.
Yeah, that was it.
Mimic
That was it. It took me like half a day to nail that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. The Freedom Tour Phase 1.
Yes.
Show and tickets info available now at joeymcintyre.com. You're starting off in Houston and Dallas. And off you go on your Freedom Tour. And then your new album, released in January, premiered on the Billboard album sales charts, top 5 on iTunes and Apple Music.
Yes,
Congratulations
it did well.
on that. Congratulations on that.
The old bugger's still getting a few head turns, I guess.
How did it all start, man?
Way back when?
Yes, sir. I want the way back story.
It started with a guy named Maurice Starr, who produced New Edition's first album. So New Edition is the New Kids' heroes. We constantly give them their flowers because without New Edition, there wouldn't be a New Kids on the Block. But they were from our hometown of Boston. And Maurice Starr is this larger-than-life character, but very, very talented, and wanted to do it again because they split up. And he met Donnie Wahlberg. And then Donnie Wahlberg was this lightning in a bottle. And the way our boy band got together was so up from your bootstraps, working class Boston. Donnie grew up with the rest of them. I was one town over singing show tunes. And, there's no blueprint to putting something like that together. And we were lucky enough to have good parents and want to work hard and want to get up on whatever stage was presented to us and try to, win them over. And we've been doing that ever since. And we got the greatest fans in the world. And we try not to mess it up. And so far we haven't.
How did you meet Donnie? How did that come across?
Well, those guys went to school together. I was, again, one town over. I grew up in community theater, and I was, they called around to public schools and it said, do you know any little white kids who can sing and dance? It was literally that. And there weren't many little white kids who could sing and dance.
In Boston?
In Boston at the time. And, but the calling card was New Edition because Maurice Starr produced New Edition. So it was like, wow, Candy Girl and Cool It Now. And I was literally falling asleep to their album. And we all have the same story. He lived in this dilapidated brick building in Roxbury, Massachusetts. And he was a character, but he had a lot of heart. And, we just had that right concoction of Jordan Knight and his brother John and Danny Wood and Donnie Wahlberg. And I was the little pipsqueak that came last, and here we are.
And so, do you remember how old were you when you first strolled in, and that group that had already been formed.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And then you're now literally the new kid on the block, right?
Yeah. I was 12 actually, and they were 15 and 16, so it was a big difference. Yeah,
and so that had to be like a little overwhelming for you, I'd imagine, right?
It was. Don't. Are you gonna get? Is this gonna be that interview where you're gonna make me cry about the trauma?
Don't be the hard-bitten masshole, man. I'm trying to find out what's up.
No. Genuinely, it was a lot. I mean, I was thrown into that, but it was like having older. I think I liken it to having older siblings, except I was the youngest of 9, but I was the baby and like taken care of.
Yeah.
Then I was thrown into 4 other teenagers, and it wasn't so sweet at times. But it was good kids though. I mean, we were blessed in good families. You know, again, working class Boston. I think that was the fabric that gave us that grit, and you do your best. You never know what's going to hit and what's not. But
well, when did you know you were hit? When did that happen?
Our first album was a flop, and then the second one, Hanging Tough, our first single, Please Don't Go Girl, had a shot, and we literally went down to New York and pounded the pavement and got a chance to perform at the Apollo Theater. And they gave us a standing ovation, and we got on the road. We went from performing nowhere to opening up for Tiffany at the time. So we went from, church basements to performing for 10,000 girls a night. So
Tiffany.
Yeah. It was, you really need those freaking breaks, you know what I mean, to make it happen. And we did, but we wanted to, take over the world. We had that kind of energy, like that nonstop, like, let's go. It worked out.
What was the first sports figure that came up to you as a fan that blew you away, man. Joey? Like you're like, oh man.
Well, I mean, Larry Bird at that time in the 80s was just.
He was a big New Kids guy?
He wasn't. now he is. Now he is because, we make sure of it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And we have a lot of history with, Boston. We wrote Hangin' Tough for the Celtics just as an anthem, and it ended up being a #1 record. So, I mean.
So you're sitting around saying we got to write something for the Celtics? Is that what it was?
That's what the guys did. Jordan, Donnie, and Danny, went to Maurice and said we got to make this anthem, and that's what it was. We weren't thinking it was going to be a #1 record, and but it's just it's what the fabric of our group is so much a part of Boston and the sports scene and chip on your shoulder. This is before we won everything under the sun. This is before we won. I mean, we won a couple of times in the 80s, a few times in the 80s.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then there was a bit of a drought.
A bit of a drought in 86 years with the Sox and yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're a Sox guy too, I imagine.
Yep. Yeah. No,
okay. So is Big Poppy a big New Kids guy? I'm just trying to unpack here for who's the sports fan, the sports person that we would least expect.
Well,
that is a diehard New Kids. What do you got?
I'm sure a lot of their wives were fans and are fans, but no, I think Donnie is. Once he stops acting and singing, he'd be a great sports guy. I mean, he really, really knows.
What do you mean,
his
like
stuff.
to do this sort of stuff?
Not as good as you, Rich, but
Oh, I don't feel threatened.
no, but he I'm surprised he hasn't been on, but I mean,
think he has been a long time ago. But.
He and Brown right now, Jaylen Brown are tight because when Brown got drafted and everybody booed, Donnie tweeted out, "Watch it, this guy is something." Like he sees the analytics of the whole thing, and Brown never forgot it. That's why they hugged on the court, and Brown, when the streamers are coming down, I videoed it. But Brown said day one, and he remembered that. Because just Donnie has that sixth sense that you guys have.
So he got a hug from Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And you got Porzingis' gum.
That's exactly.
Did I get this right? Did I pick all this up?
Fine by me. Fine by me. My feet were on the streamers. My feet were on the parquet while I watched the game, and just I was right next to the Dallas bench and Irving. I knew it was over when I saw Irving do this.
Oh, he took his
With
jersey
2
out of
minutes
his
left,
shorts.
and I'm like, he's as close as that, and he did that with 2 minutes, and it was like,
so
we did it again. It was amazing.
Gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
And Derek White's unbelievable. It's an
He's
excellent choice of your
unbelievable.
jersey. I mean, where did he come from? Did he come from like the Spurs, right? It was
Yeah,
some trade.
it was a midseason trade with the Spurs.
For who? Like, what? Do we even remember? Because the guy is just,
I'll tell you. Yeah.
he's unstoppable.
He's a steal. He's
and now
an
Peyton
absolute
Pritchard
steal.
just shot a 3 from the green room and made it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's crazy what's going on.
Celtics sent Josh Richardson and Romeo Langford and a first-round pick to the Spurs for Derek White. February 10th, 2022.
That's Rick Roby for Kevin McHale. That's right up there.
Good one, man.
That's right up there.
That's
But
great
yeah,
pull.
he's amazing. Luck of the Irish, baby. Happy St.
At
Patrick's.
the time, people had to be wondering why the Celtics trading a first-round pick for this guy.
Exactly.
Now we know.
Yeah.
And then he shaved his head. When he shaved his head, he went to a different level.
He became Derek Havlicek, as I like to call him, because
Yes.
he became
It did.
unstoppable.
I never put that 2 and 2 together, but it's pretty obvious.
He does everything.
And Joey, just to go back, you mentioned your appearance at the Apollo. You guys got to imagine how crazy that is. There's 5 white kids from Boston who were at the Apollo in Harlem, New York, and they got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder you guys blew up, because if you won that crowd over, then you're going to win everybody over.
Well, the backstory there is that we only performed for black audiences growing up in Boston, only because we were an R&B act, and that's where we could play. By the way, we were just incredibly it's the thing is you're making broad remarks about a culture or people, but we were so encouraged and so held up by the black community in Boston because there was such joy around it, and we had that's where we could perform. So it wasn't that much of a shock performing from but the Apollo is the hardest audience, historically to perform for. So, it was intense. It was a beautiful thing.
It
for
worked
sure.
out, man. And then the Vegas residency, you're back in June.
Yeah.
What is that like?
We haven't. We open June 20th. That's one thing that was still on the table for us to play Vegas, and I think we all know that it's the Mecca now for music and
residencies are their commitment, but it's
yes.
big.
I mean they branded a residency. I think people come in and out. It's not like Elvis doing 8 shows a week. It's like we're literally doing 8 shows like every 3 months. But it is. We are sitting down at the MGM Park. We have all the bells and whistles. We already see the drawings, and we're kind of building it now, and it's pretty spectacular. The things you can do when you're not putting everything on 8 trucks and going to the next city. So it's exciting.
So how long do you wind up staying there? What's the longest you're hanging there in Vegas? I guess
like 3 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. We'll start boots on the ground probably June 1st, and start doing all the stuff.
And you guys can still stand hanging around each other? I mean, after all these years, man?
You know what I notice?
What?
It's not, distance makes the heart grow fonder. When I'm away from them, I kind of want to keep doing my thing. Mm-hmm. The thing is, when I'm with them, it's so much fun. I never feel that way. And
no kidding.
It's a gift. Yeah, it really is. We always seem to have chosen friendship and family over business, which is not always the easy call, but we're still doing it.
And I'm mandated to bring this all together. You said the Vegas residency starts what day? Is it
June 20th.
Did you choose that date on purpose because it would be clear of any NBA finals?
We've never done that. It's always been one. It's always been in there. We fit it in because we had a tour last summer, and we fit it in. Game 5 lined up perfectly.
So it sounds like, to me, like somebody made a specific choice here.
We pray to the basketball gods that it'll happen again.
Man, that's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
But it's not like Vegas, not like Elvis, but you're dressed like
I
if
am-
Elvis
I am
dressed as
blinged up
Derek
like
White.
Elvis.
That's how you're coming correct.
Yes.
Okay. You got any good St. Patrick's Day stories in the McIntyre family you want to pass along?
All right. I got a joke.
Okay.
There's a flight from Boston to Dublin on Aer Lingus, and they're kind of, about going up 20, 30,000 feet in the air, and they're having a few issues, and the pilot calls back to Boston. He says, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm having a bit of trouble. I was wondering if you could help me out. And Boston radio's back. All right, well, let's start with your height and location, and we'll go from there. He said, I'm 5'2", and I'm at the front of the plane. From me to you, Rich.
A St. Patrick's Day joke from Joey McIntyre,
Yes.
dressed
Does it
like
get any
a
better?
sequined Derek White.
No,
There you go.
I say
In
nay.
support of the Freedom Tour Phase 1, the Freedom album, and the New Kids residency. There's nothing more St. Patrick's Day that I could ask for than this, sir.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so I got it all right. Joey, I hope. JoeyMcIntyre.com for show and ticket info. It's available right now. Houston, Dallas, St. Louis, and Chicago are first up for you. Congratulations on the new album, Freedom. And again,
Thank you.
the steel right there that we're seeing right
I
there.
think our logos go well together, actually.
But
We're both running.
Are you running or holding up a wall?
And I'm running now.
You
I
are
thought I
running.
was.
Okay.
Actually, I'm pushing you
Pushing me away.
You're trying to
Catch up.
lap me, and I'm giving you the Heisman.
You are,
I like
you
it.
are giving me the Heisman.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And the New Kids on the Block, Las Vegas residency. Everybody check that out. As you're still selling out arenas after all these years, congratulations on everything, buddy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Come back here whenever you want. man.
I'm in. Thank you.
You know, you want to be our official Celtic.
Can I just have that couch
Pride
and
guy?
just sit in?
Yes.
Hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah. Come. You don't have to just wait till St. Patrick's Day.
But I have
come
to
in.
wear this every time.
You don't have any others? That's the only one? I'd imagine.
I was gonna go full Red Sox, but then it was St. Patty's Day. So
Well-
yeah, I got more bling in the closet.
Opening
We can-
day's around the corner. You know what I mean?
That's what I was. You know,
I mean, we can
And
do-
we're back.
What does that mean? We're back.
It means we're back.
Meaning what?
We're going to World
Pitchers and
Series.
catchers and all that jazz,
Red
or
Sox
opening day?
back.
Yeah.
We're back. Bregman is just hits after hits. The kids are hitting. No
There you
one's
go.
talking about Walker Buehler has been silently dominating this spring training.
Oh my God! You're talking spring training. This guy over in the back, the Met fan over there, and T.J. Jefferson. He's already getting the Canyon of Heroes parade because Juan Soto's hitting home runs, and Clay Holmes, his opening day starter's got a new pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
How's your team doing?
Not great because everybody's hurt. At least we can at least extrapolate from spring training what that is.
We could have told you that before the
All
season.
right, let's not argue in front of Joey. It's embarrassing. We can't have it.
Well, Joey's going to be on Chris's side because they rep the same squad.
Absolutely.
All right.
What jersey were you going to wear, Red Sox? What do we got? Old school Poppy? Noma from back in the day?
I forget what number I had.
Is it Mike Greenwell?
Ooh, good one.
Could have been Mookie Betts, but
No.
he's
Too
here
soon,
now.
Rich. Too
Wow.
soon.
Is it really?
Too soon. It will always be too soon.
Is that right? I'm sorry.
I'll be 90 and it'll be too soon.
I didn't mean to do all that.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks for. Please, I've never said this to another human being. Bring us Porzingis' gum.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Because
Done.
we could make a real like. Well,
Yeah, I need one of those glass domes.
Sort of let you put like I guess what muffins or bread in the kitchen, like what I mean.
I don't know,
something
but
like that.
yeah,
You put
cylindrical
I don't
kind
know
of
what else to call it.
Yes, cone,
You know, like a
glass
cone, like a glass cone.
Yeah, and I
Snow
want to get like a pin and just have the gum sitting on top of it.
Right, like a presentation, like it's
Yes.
a championship ring.
Yes.
But instead, it's the gum of a
Yes.
used gum of a very, very tall European.
Yes.
Right? Does that work?
Why
Understood.
don't I present it to him
Presentation.
on your show?
You know what? Now you're talking.
Let's dream.
That's not.
Let's dream. I think we just wrote a new song.
That should be the name of your new album.
Let's dream. This is the next one.
That's the
follow up to Freedom. Let's
And
dream.
it was like, why is Joey McIntyre's newest album cover used chewed gum?
Oh,
Very
okay. I
weird.
thought, used choose gum.
Used chewed.
That's cooler, actually.
Oh man, Joey McIntyre again. Check out the Freedom Tour Phase 1, JoeyMcIntyre.com. Freedom, the new album, and of course, we'll see you in Vegas if not beforehand. Good to see you, bud. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.